I'll never forget the moment my father destroyed me at Christmas dinner. With a smile on his face and turkey on his plate, he looked me straight in the eye and said, "Crystal, I know you paid off the $720,000 mortgage to save this house, but we've decided to give the deed to your sister Emily as her graduation gift." The room went silent. My heart stopped. I'd sacrificed everything, worked 3 jobs, lived in a studio apartment, ate ramen for months just to save my family from foreclosure. And this was my thanks? But then he twisted the knife. He added casually, "Oh, and Emily doesn't want you at her graduation party. She thinks you'd bring negative energy." 20 years of being the forgotten daughter, the unwanted child, the scapegoat, it all crystallized in that moment. They had finally pushed me too far. I turned to my Aunt Martha, the only person at that table who had ever truly loved me. I asked, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Do you want to tell them what we know, or should I?" My father's face went white. My sister froze, because they had no idea what I'd discovered. They didn't know about the $2.3 million trust fund my late mother left me, the one they had stolen and hidden for 20 years. They didn't know I'd been building a legal case against them for months. And they definitely didn't know what was going to happen at Emily's precious graduation party in 3 days. This is the story of how I took back everything they stole from me. My name is Crystal Robbins. I'm 38 years old, a financial analyst who built a career from nothing after leaving home at 18 with 2 suitcases. That Christmas, Aunt Martha pulled me into the guest room away from the chaos. She was trembling as she pulled a worn leather satchel from under the bed. She whispered, "I can't keep quiet anymore. Your mother, Sarah, she didn't leave you with nothing. She left you a trust fund, $2.3 million meant for you when you turned 21. My world tilted. While I was struggling to pay for community college, my parents were draining an account meant for my future. Martha showed me the papers, bank statements, forged signatures, and transfers. She revealed they used your money to buy this house, and now they plan to give it to Emily. That night, I didn't scream, I didn't flip the table. I made a decision. I called my lawyer, Daniel Chen. I asked him a simple question. Do we want peace or do we want war? Looking at the documents proving they stole my childhood, I chose war. We didn't strike immediately. We let them get comfortable. I hired Marcus, a forensic accountant, and what he found was staggering. My father and stepmother, Linda, were drowning in debt despite stealing my millions. But the real shock was Emily. My golden child sister had used my social security number to take out student loans. She had destroyed my credit score while I was working to fix it. She had even committed academic fraud, paying people to take her online classes. Armed with this information, I laid a trap. I knew Emily was using an old college rival of mine, Rachel, to spy on me. So I fed her false information. I told her, "I'm giving up. I'm too tired to fight. I'm moving to London." The news spread through my family like wildfire. They were ecstatic. They thought they had won. My father even emailed me, re-inviting me to the graduation party, probably so he could gloat one last time. "Accepted," I replied. While they celebrated my defeat, Daniel was preparing 3 lawsuits, one for the trust fund, one for the house, and a federal complaint regarding identity theft. And Marcus, he contacted the venue owner of the graduation party, a man who happened to owe me a favor. Dramatic, cinematic, this is the climax. May 7th, the day of reckoning. I walked into the Riverside estate wearing a blood-red dress that cost more than my father's car. The room went silent. They expected a defeated, mousy daughter. They got a woman who owned the room. My father intercepted me. He hissed, "You're late. Just stay in the back. We have a presentation. Don't ruin it." I wouldn't dream of it. I smiled. At 7 p.m., my father took to the stage. He announced to the crowd that they were gifting Emily the deed to the family home. Emily squealed, holding up a ceremonial golden key. She told the crowd, "I'm so blessed. Good energy brings good things." I pulled out my phone and texted Marcus in the AV booth, "Now." The projection screen behind Emily flickered. The childhood photos disappeared. In their place, a PDF document appeared. Trust Fund Establishment. Beneficiary, Crystal Robbins. Amount, $2.3 million. The crowd gasped. The slide changed. Withdrawal authorization, forgery detected. My father panicked, running towards the booth, but the door was locked. The screen changed again. University student loan application, applicant Emily Robbins, status fraudulent. I stepped out of the shadows. "I think there's been a mistake," I announced, my voice carrying over the stunned crowd. "You can't accept that house, Emily, because Dad doesn't own it. I do." I revealed the refinancing documents from 8 months prior. Buried in the fine print, I was listed as joint tenant with right of survivorship. I told them, "I paid off the mortgage to save you from foreclosure, and your thank you was to try to steal it from me?" The police arrived moments later, not to arrest them, but to serve them. Daniel walked in with the officers. "Richard and Linda Robbins, you are being served with a civil suit for fraud and misappropriation of funds." As the party dissolved into chaos and guests fled, I walked over to my sobbing sister and gently took the golden key from her hand. "The party is over," I said. The destruction was swift. The university investigation concluded that Emily had committed academic fraud. Her degree was revoked. The job offer she had lined up, rescinded. My parents tried to do damage control with a press conference, but it backfired spectacularly. When asked where my money went, they replied, "No comment." The public saw right through it. My father lost his job, not just because of the scandal, but because of my final card. Months ago, I had quietly acquired 52% of the shares in the company my father worked for. I called an emergency board meeting, and as the majority shareholder, I proposed a restructuring. I sat at the head of the table as my father walked in. "Mr. Robbins, your position is being eliminated effective immediately." He tried to argue it was personal. I replied, "It's strictly business. We're cutting unnecessary overhead." They were left with nothing. The court ordered full restitution of the $4.1 million. They avoided prison only by agreeing to a strict plea deal, probation, complete asset forfeiture, and signing the house over to me fully. They moved into a relative's spare bedroom, social pariahs in the town they once tried to impress. A week later, I was cleaning out the house, my house now. In my old, tiny bedroom, Martha showed me a hidden panel in the closet. Inside was a safe. And inside that safe was a letter from my mother, written before she passed. "My beloved Crystal, if you are reading this, I am gone. I set up a trust to ensure your future. I know your father wasn't the man I hoped he would be, but you are made from hope. Don't let anyone take what is yours. You are loved eternally." I sat on the floor and wept, not from sadness, but from relief. I had been loved. I had been wanted. But there was a final twist. My parents had asked for one last meeting. I agreed, only to tell them I was done. But then Emily spoke up. She said, "She's right. We don't deserve forgiveness." Then she looked at me. "Crystal, the anonymous package that Daniel received, the original trust fund documents with the wet ink signatures that proved the forgery, that was me." I froze. She admitted, "I found them in Dad's office. I read them and I realized everything you said was true. I sent them to your lawyer because I knew you needed them to win." My sister, the golden child, had handed me the weapon that destroyed our parents. She told me, "I'm in therapy. I'm working at a grocery store. I'm paying for community college myself. I'm trying to become someone worthy of being your sister." I told her, "If you want to change, prove it with action, not with words." I didn't forgive them immediately. I didn't save them from their consequences. I let them live the lives they had earned. I sold the family house. It held too many bad memories. Martha and I bought a beautiful new home filled with light. I started a nonprofit to help other victims of financial abuse. 6 months later, I received a letter from Emily. She was getting straight A's. She was volunteering. She was trying. I put the letter in my desk right next to my mother's.
The ending of my story wasn't about a happy family reunion. It was about justice. It was about realizing that I didn't need their approval to be whole. I had won the war, but more importantly, I had won myself back. Thanks for listening to Crystal's story. Do you think she was too harsh on her family, or did they get exactly what they deserved? Let us know in the comments below. And remember to like and subscribe for more stories of justice and resilience.